Hello everyone, welcome to Beaver's Hobby channel and to my new project. I have always wanted the Tamiya TT-01 and luckily Banggood has this chassis, so they sent one to me for review. Let's get one thing clear, this is not a product from Tamiya, it's a clone based on Tamiya TT-01 Type E if you count the upper deck. In this video, we'll see what's inside the box and what else do we need to complete the car, along with the total cost estimation of this project. If you want to start RC hobby with this car, I'll tell you what's the cheapest option and what I use. The price will be in US dollar. Some will be converted from euro if I got it from my local shop. Now let's begin. It comes in a generic cardboard box like this with no label. First, we have the bumpers and the screws for them. In the next bag, we have body posts, wheel hexes, pins, and also wheel nuts. The included wheels come with plastic drift tires. I wanna build a touring car, so I'll have to buy new tires and possibly new wheels too. Finally, we have the chassis. It is pre-assembled except the wheels. The steering doesn't seem to have any play in it and it feels smooth. The only adjustability this car has are front toe angle and coilover under shocks. The drivetrain feels smooth, as well as the differentials. The wheelbase is 257mm and the width is 190mm. Let's put the wheels on and see how it looks. It looks really good. And it rolls really well. For the initial inspection, all the parts are smooth, but the shocks don't have oil in them, so I'll need to fill them up later. One of my viewers told me about a misaligned rediff, so I opened it up to check, and everything seems fine and smooth on my car. The QC could be hit and miss, so if you get it, turn the spur by hand, and if you feel any notch or anything sticking, open up the diff housing and see if you have to sand anything down, like the bearing slot, to realign the gears. It uses dog bones, not CVD, so I might upgrade it later. That's all the stuff we have. It's a rolling chassis, so a lot are missing to complete the car. So let's go over them one by one. First, we're gonna need a body. Banggood also sent me a body from ZD Racing. It is an AMG DTM racing car, I think. The width is 200mm, so it is a little bit wider than this car. I can change the wheel offset to fit it later. The body is quite flexible. It is pre-painted and I will only need to apply the stickers. To be honest, I'm not the biggest fan of the Mercedes, but this body looks really good. It is also pretty cheap, just $33 for a pre-painted body, almost ready to use. You'll just have to drill the holes for the body posts. The motor size is 540. Some brushless manufacturers will call this 3650. The ESC or speed controller should be at least 60 amp. You can get a cheap brush motor combo like this. A cheap brushless sensorless combo is also available. I'll be using a cheap brushless motor with sensor from Surpass Hobby. With Hobbywing Quick Run 120 amp, this kit is the best value for money you can buy today if you want a brushless system with sensor. It will also need some M3 screws 6mm length to attach the motor to the chassis. You can buy them from a hardware store. They'll be cheaper than buying from an RC store. The motor pinion gear pitch is M0.6 or Mod 0.6. The more teeth it has, the faster the car. I've got 23T and also 17T, just in case the 23 is too fast or doesn't have good acceleration. The servo is standard size for 1/10 scale. I'll be using the short version to have more space for the ESC. My choices are either this SPT that I've just got, which has better specs than the JX servo that I already have. However, it occasionally goes crazy under 6V, so I'm not sure if I'll be using it. I might stick with the JX because I know it is safe and reliable. The biggest battery it can take is 46.5mm wide, 26mm thick and 150mm long. But that's a bit too tight. If you can find anything around 46 by 24 by 140, it would be perfect. I'll be using this genset. And don't forget the shock oil. As per recommendation on the Euro RC website, the weight is 400 CST, so that's what I'm going to use. Those are all the parts you need for this car. Next, you'll need some tools, a transmitter, receiver, and a charger. I consider these things an investment because if you want to start doing RC hobby, you can buy a good ones and keep using them for a long time, and with other cars you might buy in the future. For the transmitter, I'm thinking either my trusty Radiolink RC4GS is a solid and reliable transmitter, or this new flash guide G7P. The flash guide has the edge on the adjustable servo frequency. However, the reliability is questionable to say the least. If I shake it or knock it just a little bit, it will reset itself, as you can see here. That's not good. Now let's take a look when I try to do the same thing with the Radiolink. Nothing happens. You can go cheap and get a Dumbo RC transmitter, but it doesn't have the model memory capability. So if you have more than one car, you'll have to adjust the settings every time you change the car. As for the charger, I've just got this Sky RC S65 AC. It is a simple and easy to use charger that doesn't require a power brick or an adapter, unlike my old Sky RC B6. The only downside is that the plug is XT60 and I had to make a bunch of adapters to charge my batteries. There are clones of the B6 charger as well. I don't know about their quality, so if you want to go cheap, do it at your own risk. Finally, the tools. You'll need hex screwdriver and hex socket. You can get a set specifically made for RC like this, or you can just take a look in your local supermarket. This is what I found when I went to Croatia. It is a really good set of tools, and it is what I take to the track because it is easy to carry. As for the socket or nut driver, here's a set with handle, or you can get a cheap cross wrench like this. And don't forget a reamer if you need to make holes on the body. Other tools like pliers and screwdrivers can be found in your local shops, so don't worry about that. Let's see how much will this project cost just to get it off the ground, or actually on the ground because it's a car. Okay, that's a lot. But remember, if you already have a transmitter and a charger, this will be about $100 cheaper. And if you already have the tools, it will be even cheaper. And if you don't have anything yet, everything you buy right now, you can use it on your next cars. Some of you are gonna say, wow, would you really spend $400 on a clone junk? You would rather spend that amount of money on an RTR from a reputable brand like MST or Yokomo. But I want you to really look at the build. I want you to really look at the electronics that I'll put in the car and how much it is that actually goes into the chassis. How much that actually goes into the electronics, tools, charger, transmitter. You're gonna see that if you spend the same amount of money to buy an RTR, you most likely will not get a good charger out of that. Most likely will not get a LiPo battery. Most likely will not get a 4-channel transmitter. And definitely will not get the brushless system with sensor. So most of the budget will go into the electronics that you can move to a better chassis. You don't have to buy this chassis anyway. You can just use this electronics and buy something else like Yokomo YD2, Sakura D5 or Sakura Advance S for 4-wheel drive touring car, or any chassis you like. And if you are new to this hobby, remember you'll need to spend a big portion of your budget on the electronics, on a good transmitter, charger and tools. So please be prepared for that. With that being said, I don't have anything against buying an RTR. In fact, it is the easiest way to get into the hobby. Especially if you don't know how to do soldering and you don't have the time to do the research on what motor is right, what ESC is right, what pinion gear you should be using. Only thing you have to do is open the box, charge the battery, and it'll just work. However, you need to set your expectation right. When you buy an RTR, you'll most likely not getting a good quality electronics. As I'm sure you know, this hobby is expensive, but if you buy the right stuff at the beginning, it'll save your money down the line. That's it for today. I'm gonna start building it soon, so I hope to see you again in the next videos. Please subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and click the bell icon to get the notification whenever I upload a new video. You can follow me on Facebook or social media for quick updates, written reviews, news, and to see what I'm doing between videos. Thanks as always for watching. and see you again next time.